Chapter 4. The Right Tools. With the right know-how and equipment, you can make anything work. If you are following the process correctly, you now have a goal or several goals that demands more money than you personally need, and you have a list of several hundred prospects. If that's not the case, you've skipped ahead and begun a new chapter without completing the first steps. The reason such a small percentage of people ever earn the big bucks in our community is that they resist accepting guidance from those who have succeeded. They look for shortcuts for the easy way. It's not too late to go back to the first 3 chapters and take those steps I've suggested. Please do so if you haven't already. Professional material. In this brief chapter, we'll examine the tools you'll need to successfully prospect your warm market and filter through them to find those ready for what you have to offer. You should have at least 2 of the following recruiting, retailing, and filtering tools: an audio tape, fax on demand, website, brochure, recorded conference call on a website, dedicated telephone line, a video or CD or USB stick, a recorded conference call on telephone. No matter how eloquent you may be, professional sales tools, which are productive and informative, work when personal dialogue does not. They have a dual purpose. Firstly, they provide information and excitement. And secondly, they serve to help you sift quickly through and find the right people. Regardless of how shy or inexperienced you may be, success is possible in MLM if you hand out the right tools to large numbers of people. Sales tools are the greatest equalizer in our industry. I've seen maids achieve millionaire statuses and mayors fail miserably, all because they followed or ignored this concept. No matter how articulate, few networkers convince friends to change careers by attempting to persuade them to do so without proper tools that serve as a source of credibility and verification. One of the most amazing facts about MLM is that many companies have become multi-million-dollar dynasties without substantial products, adequate capital, or ethical leaders. How did they do that? They prospered because they had extremely persuasive tools which convinced people to make emotional, uninformed decisions. Some industry outsiders marvel about the fact that it's possible for a little company with nothing but a mediocre long-distance service or Me Too type of supplement to build $300 million revenues on the strength of one particularly good audio or video recruiting tool. Others are impressed that new life can be breathed into a nearly dead company by the simple creation of an effective recruiting or product tool. One industry leader, Kurt Wilkins, called me recently and shared a graphic example of what happened in his own company based on this concept of using the right tools. I think his example, like so many others I've heard over the years, quite eloquently supports my point. He was kind enough to draft the experience and send it to me to include in this book. The Wilkins Story. Kathy and I joined MLM in April of 1990. For the prior 25 years, I had been a successful real estate broker in Boise, Idaho. We quickly achieved various ranks and were honored to be inducted into the prestigious President's Club. Initially, Kathy and I were less enthusiastic about the image of the MLM industry as a whole. We had previously signed up with 2 previous network marketing companies, but had not really pursued those opportunities. But with one company, we witnessed life-changing product experiences, both personally and with family members, and decided with this valid product and an extremely strong company, we could proceed with promoting the opportunity without reservations. Unfortunately, the quality of the promotional materials produced by the company at that time did not have the quality of content we needed. Company-produced materials lacked the sizzle that distributor-produced materials offer. After hearing Mark Yarnell's concept of creating your own recruiting tools, we contracted the president of the Blue Ribbon Video, Lance Blair, and shared our idea for a new video. We offered to do the scripting and acting provided he would cover the production costs. We negotiated for Blue Ribbon to keep all profits, and they marketed the videos and audios for us. It was a win-win situation for everybody. In 18 months, over 1.5 million copies of our materials had sold through Blue Ribbon. Kathy and I produced the video sitting in a living room with a fireplace in the background. We looked directly into the camera and talked as though each prospect was sitting in our living room with us. We talked to them personally. It was a huge success, and it worked beyond our wildest dreams. We had calls from all over the United States thanking us for a video that they could simply plug and play in their homes. Pay attention to the advice of Mark Yarnell. His suggestions enabled us to earn over $625,000 in the 5 years we were involved with Nikon. Old companies, new tools. The importance of an effective recruiting, retailing tool cannot be overstated. It's especially critical to the person involved in an old and stable company or a brand new company. A casual stroll through the history of our industry proves my point. Those organizations that continue to prosper decade after decade are led by individuals in the field who are constantly reinventing opportunity. Every few years, a new division emerges with brand new starter kits and new retailing tools that are initiated by the field leaders. It's what I called a new ground floor. New ground floor. The danger is this: if the distributors don't create their own new ground floor, the corporation team will. And in some cases, a corporate move actually stalls rather than invigorates growth. Until you've been in a company that implements a compensation plan enhancement that reduces your check 30%, you won't understand. So let me make it very simple. If leaders don't exercise their personal rights and responsibilities as independent distributors, corporate folks will attempt to control the field. And I have observed that most of their attempts are counterproductive. Some corporate leaders may decide to lead your company into a merger or sellout. Others might actually create a huge number of less than provocative sales tools. Some companies change comp plans for the worse, and others bring in outside consultants who are ridiculously incompetent. All this because their top leaders have become too lazy to reinvent the field themselves. I've seen this problem occur dozens of times because unless a company is growing, the corporate leaders have no basis of self-validation. Growth is all that matters to many corporations. They care neither how profitable the company might be, nor how comfortable the distributors might be. Growth is the corporate report card. So the field must create new sales tools and new ground floor opportunities, or the company will attempt to do so. Those same upline leaders who initially drove the company to millions in sales have the ability to do the same thing again with new stories, new kits, and new recruiting tools. Those folks in a new company must especially take the initiative to create their own provocative tools, or momentum will never occur. Our industry is filled with examples of companies that have become international dynasties by skillfully marketing products or services of dubious value, while others with remarkable products have gone out of business overnight. Why? Because of the marketing tools created by the field leaders. The power of the story. The tulip deal in Holland during the 1600s demonstrated the power of the story. One skillfully developed brochure launched a sales frenzy that eventually caused tulips to be valued higher than gold or Rembrandt paintings. In the modern world, some network marketing companies have become billion-dollar dynasties by the skillful marketing of soap and vitamins, websites, and long distance. Of course, I'm not suggesting that all such examples bode well for our industry. What I'm saying is that once you've found a legitimate company with emotional and consumable products, the opportunity to prosper is unlimited, provided you've got good recruiting tools. So whether you've joined an upstart or a 20-year-old company, you'll need effective prospecting tools. Anyone with a little imagination can create a great set of tools, and here is how it's done. Making the greatest set of tools. Pick the greatest selling points about your products and opportunity and draft a script for an audio, website, and brochure. It helps to find a set of tools that have worked for other companies in the past and follow their format. Study great audio tapes and videos. The recruiting tools should be truthful and emotional. They may include the testimonies of distributors who have gone from rags to riches in a short time, or product testimonials from customers who have benefited dramatically from your product line. It doesn't take a slick, skillful salesperson to create sales tools. In fact, The more down-to-earth and believable the distributor, the more effective will be the tool. There are two things critical about these kind of recruiting tools. First, they should be offered to your organization at your cost. Your goal must be to avoid regulatory problems while earning tremendous income through the legitimate movement of company products to end consumers. You might be tempted to profit from sales tools, but that's the dinosaur approach. The big money in today's networking arena results from product movement and not the sales aids. In the old days of MLM, leaders would constantly earn more money from tapes, books, and brochures than the actual movement of company products. That was fair and still is. It's called free enterprise. But in today's world, everyone knows that an audio can be dubbed for a quarter, and many folks would consider it offensive that their uplines would sell a tape for 10 times that amount. It's not unethical or immoral. It's simply stupid and greedy. It's important to keep in mind that the essence of network marketing has always been the process of recruiting a large organization to move a significant amount of products or services to the largest number of people possible. Those leaders who figure out the best and most inexpensive way for folks to do that will ultimately achieve the most wealth. Some would argue that any leader who creates a great tool deserves to profit dramatically. I agree. It's a question of whether that leader feels better about profiting from his organization's success or at their expense. Either your people will appreciate your efforts to provide them with low-cost tools, or they will resent your willingness to profit from their sales and purchases. It's also very important to keep this simple concept in mind. A leader is someone who demonstrates what is possible. If your actions imply that the way to prosper in MLM is to create sales tool profits through astronomical pricing, that is what your people will plan to do. Pretty soon, all your best people will be focused on generating side money than actual product movement. There are some phenomenal distributors in MLM who have left our industry in order to pursue a career in lead generating schemes, recruiting tools, and consulting. That's everyone's loss. No one ends up sadder than the dynasty builder who has lost the vision of passive residual income. Create some excitement. So let's assume that you are a new company or an old one that needs some excitement. Take a few days to put together some exciting facts about your company, opportunity, and products. The more dramatic they are, the better, so long as the facts are accurate. Write a simple script that can be recorded on audio and/or drafted into a brochure. Submit it to your company's legal department for approval. Once approved, book a couple of hours at the local recording studio in order to record your tape. Find a duplication company willing to dub it in large quantities for 25 or 30 cents. Record the tape, get it copied, then begin circulating the recruiting or retailing tool to all your leaders. Those who are skilled at web design may want to create a recruiting site with similar information. Many MLM companies offer self-replicating websites to all distributors, so you may want to use one of those. The main thing to remember is that anyone can invent or reinvent a ground floor opportunity regardless of their skills or background. In my own case, with zero experience in MLM or tape sales, I created an audio in 1987 called Rags to Riches. It sold over 1 million copies, and my income from skincare products grew to over $30,000 a month. My company experienced huge growth from that one simple tool, yet I never earned 1 penny in royalties. The $33,000 a month income from the networking business was more than adequate. In September 2000, I joined a new company and created a brand new audio that is, at the time of this writing, selling over 300,000 copies a month. Just prior to September, I spoke to a 40-year-old MLM company at their convention, and one of their distributors decided to create a new ground floor opportunity. She followed the advice I just gave you, and her downline is absolutely exploding as a result. Remember, you are an independent distributor in a wonderful profession in which no one other than you can impose limits on yourself. There are no rules beyond integrity and common sense. No one can stop you from creating your own tools and growing your own business. You don't have to be a professional recording genius to create and duplicate a powerful recruiting tool. You don't have to be an expert at public relations to draft and produce an emotional brochure. All you need is courage and conviction, In the next chapter, we'll explore the importance of numbers now that you've got goals, names, and tools ready to go. Summary. All professionals have tools of some type to use in their work. As a professional network marketer, you definitely need sales and recruiting tools. Here are some important points to consider. You do not need to be eloquent to succeed in network marketing. You just need the right tools. Sales tools help you demonstrate the effectiveness of your product. Recruiting tools help you turn a retail customer into a networker in your downline. Sales and recruiting tools are critical to jumpstart a new company and to reinvigorate an old, established company. If you don't create sales tools, the corporate executives of your company will, but their tools will probably be inferior to yours. To create sales and recruiting tools, you don't have to be a marketing expert. You just need to be down to earth, tell inspiring stories, provide compelling testimonies, and list all the positive aspects of your product and company. Create a variety of tools, including audio tapes, videos, websites, or brochures. Don't try to make a profit on your sales tools. Give them away or make them available at close to your cost.